Awesome. Okay, good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Okay, we have a repeat joining in. Okay, let's started. So today, first of all, let me start 187th meeting of Hoodie Toastmasters Club. With this, we are going to start off the meeting. Before we start, Toastmasters is an environment where the club mission is to provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. Now, Toastmasters is founded in 1924 by Ralph Smedley. Today, Toastmasters clubs are across 140 countries, helping millions of members to improve their public speaking and leadership skills across. With that, I will be handing it over to our Toastmaster of the day to take forward the session of today's meeting. Toastmaster Suresh Balu, who joined recently Hoodie Toastmasters Club, but he's a veteran Toastmasters. Please over to you, Suresh, to take over the meeting as Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, President Yaskar. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, good evening. A warm welcome to our meeting once again. So, for the benefit of the new members and guests, let me give little more background about Toastmasters International. So, Toastmasters International is a non-profit education organization that focus on improving leadership skill and public speaking skills through worldwide network of clubs. So like our president was saying, we have around 14,000 plus clubs spread across 148 countries, and we have more than 270,000 members across the globe. So a typical Toastmasters meeting is conducted through three different sections or three different sessions. First one is prepared speech, second is table topics, and third one is general evaluation. So prepared speech is where our Toastmasters prepare the speech, get it mentored from the seasoned Toastmaster, and then they will come and deliver the speech as per the speech objective. Table topics is where a topic has been given to the Toastmaster and they have been requested to speak on the topic given for 1 to 2 minutes. The intention of this session is to improve the impromptu thinking skills, or how people can think on the spot and speak on a topic given. The third session is very important session, general evaluation. As part of this session, our own senior Toastmaster will take up a role of a general evaluator, and then they will evaluate the speech from start to end. Because this evaluation, this retrospection is very important in terms of what is that we have done good and what is that areas of improvement. So that's where general evaluation comes into a role. General evaluator comes into picture, and then he will evaluate the meeting and give his feedback in terms of what is that we have done good and what is the areas of improvement. So that's about Toastmasters International and Toastmaster, how a typical Toastmasters meetings are conducted. Now let's move on to the theme for today's meeting, personal branding. We have heard a lot about organizations' product branding. So it could be Pepsi, Dell, HP, Intel, Nestle, Amul, Parle-G, you name it, there are so many brands available in the globe, right? These are all branding about the products. But today, I'm going to talk about branding about ourselves, which is personal branding. So we will talk about what is this personal branding, why branding is required, and how do we build our personal branding. So these are some of the topics we will cover as part of today's Toastmaster of the Day role. To start with, what is personal branding? Personal branding is all about what is that image or identity you have created for yourself. For example, the moment you think of me, the moment you see me as a person, what is it comes to your mind? What is the kind of image I have created on your eyes? So that is about personal branding. There are so many people in this world, they have created their own identity, their own brand. Maybe I will call some of the names. Maybe I would request you to say what is the kind of image they have created. So the moment you think of Mahatma Gandhi, what is that image or brand comes to your mind?
Responsible.
Okay. Anything else? Any other responses? The moment you think of Mahatma Gandhi, what comes to your mind? What kind of branding he has created? Right. So he's a man of.
Sorry. Satyamev Jayate.
Yep. He has created a brand of non-violence. Right. He is considered the father of the nation. The moment you think of Lal Bahadur Shastri, what is that it comes to your mind? Man of peace. The moment you think of Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, what is that comes to your mind? Iron Man of India, right? And he has united the entire country. This person is very interesting. Let me test your knowledge. The moment I say Kalidasa, what is that comes to your mind?
Poet.
Poet is fine, yeah, but he can be related to a well-known poet or writer in the western part. Who is the person he can be related to? Kalidasa is considered as the Shakespeare of India. So that is the kind of branding he has created. Swara Kokila. When I say Swara Kokila, who is that Swara Kokila has been called? Lata Mangeshkar. When I say MS Dhoni, what is that comes to your mind?
Cool captain.
Cool captain, right? That is the kind of image he has created. So this branding, personal branding is very important, and that the moment I say a person name, that is the kind of image or branding they have created. So this personal branding is very, very important. So let's discuss in our next session how we can create that personal branding in detail. Now it's a time to introduce today's general evaluator. Today's general evaluator is a pragmatic Toastmaster. He is a veteran in the Toastmasters journey. He's having around 14 years of experience in the Toastmaster. Founded so many clubs, mentored close to 200 professionals. He is also our own president, and he served as a president almost 6 to 7 times. So please put your hands together to welcome today's general evaluator, DTM Nitesh. Nitesh, over to you. So can you please explain your role and introduce your team?
Thank you, TMOD. And sorry for joining late. I was in the middle of something and couldn't join on time. So as G, my role today would be to evaluate the meeting, start from the beginning till the end. Also, my role would be to evaluate each of the role takers as how they are performing. And to assist me in this role, I will have speech evaluators and a tag team in place. Today, we have done a little bit of modification. So we do not have a tag as timer, counter, and grammarian. We have a timer and then a language evaluator. So let me start with the timer. We have Toastmaster Narasimham at the timer, who would be explaining his role. So Toastmaster Narasimham.
Thank you, DTM Nitesh. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters, and welcome to Hoodie Toastmaster Club. My name is Toastmaster Narasimham. Today, I'll be serving as a timer for today's meeting. My role is help to speaker manage their time very effectively. To carry out this activity, I'm going to show 3 cards, green, yellow, and red. Okay, so the speakers will be given 5 to 7 minutes, and after completion of 5 minutes, I'm going to show the green card. At yellow 6 minute and 7th minute red card. So 30 seconds will be grace period for the speeches. At the same time, for the table topics, 2 minutes will be there timing. So 1 minute I will show green card, 1.30 seconds yellow card, 2 minutes red card. So how I am going to showcase these cards means my background will be, can you see this one? This is
Yes,
the
we
way
can
I'm
see.
going to indicate.
Yes.
This is
Yeah.
the way I'm going to indicate the timers. So all the speakers should follow the timing. So upon calling upon my GE, I'm going to give the complete details for the how the speakers has consumed the timing. Over to you, Nitish.
Thank you, Toastmaster Narasimham. Next role we have is language evaluator, and I find it really interesting. Let's see how the report would be. I hope it would be combination of grammar, R-counter, and few more things. And to play this role, we have a very active Toastmasters with us and very good speaker. Let's welcome Toastmaster Vaibhavi as a language evaluator for today. Toastmaster Vaibhavi.
Thank you very much, Mr. General Evaluator. Good evening, dear Toastmasters and guests. As language evaluator, I am serving you with dual role, R-counter as well as grammarian. Well, let me explain it to you for the benefit of guests. As grammarian as an R-counter, that is language evaluator, it's my primary duty to pay keen attention to the good usage of English words like phrases, quotes, and many more. And also, I'll be making note of those nitty-gritty things where we need minor correction. For example, correction in tenses or voice, that is active to passive, etc. I'll also be making note of short pauses and long pauses, which reduce the credibility as speaker. I will present my report in which all these details will be written when called upon by the general evaluator. But I also have another role to introduce to you all the word of the day. This word of the day is intended to enrich your vocabulary. And for today, the word of the day is emblem. E-M-B-L-E-M. Emblem. It's a noun as part of speech, and the meaning is an object or symbol that represents something. Let me demonstrate an example. Make your smile an emblem of your presence. An interesting fact to note is this word is taken via Greek to Latin. Since English has flown through different countries, through different languages, this word comes from Greek via Latin. I shall paste this word of the day in the Zoom chat box so that you can have a look at it over and again. And I encourage all of you, dear Toastmasters and guests, to use this word of the day so that it gets synced in your memory. We have the tradition of snapping our fingers, showing a thumbs up, or even clapping when any Toastmaster on the virtual podium uses the word of the day as an encouragement. This is my role. Back to you, Mr. General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmasters Vaibhavi. And it is an absolute, I would say, relative word for today, emblem, especially when we are hosting G20 as host nation. And we have several countries which are also coming up with their own emblem and representing their own country. I hope most of the speakers would be able to use it, and we will come back with our report at the end of the meeting when we will be called by TMOD. Back to you, TMOD, to take this meeting forward.
Thank you, Toastmaster. Thank you, General Evaluator, for introducing your role and the tag team. Now, with that, now it's the time to get into the first section of today's meeting, which is prepared speech. Before I invite the first speaker, maybe I would like to invite the evaluator of the first speech. The evaluator of the first speech is the Toastmaster is an industrial engineer at Airbus, and she hails from Kolkata, and she is in Bangalore for almost a year. I hope you are enjoying the Bangalore climate and traffic here. So let me invite Toastmaster Monali to give the speech objectives and the purpose.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day. So the speaker is giving her level 1 speech. The purpose of this project is to practice using vocal variety or body language to enhance her speech. So she will be evaluated on these criterias, and her pathway is leadership development. Over to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Monali. Our first speaker is working as a software development delivery manager, and she is passionate about gardening. So I also love gardening. So I feel that maybe someone else is there sharing my passion. So Toastmaster Veena is our first speaker, and the topic is auto driver who helped me in driving. Auto driver who helped me in driving by Toastmaster Veena.
Okay, before coming to audio video check, am I audible and am I visible? Thank you, thank you. So, good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. So, have you heard something like an auto driver help me in driving? Yes, you are right. Yes, an auto driver really helped me in driving. So, this is something. Before coming to that point, I would like to share my experience how I use transport to send my daughter to the daycare from my home, Ayapanagar care to the field. It's almost 10 kilometers distance. So I struggled to take her to the daycare. It was some 8 to 9 years back. I was carrying bags and a kid on my shoulder. So the kid, laptop bag of mine, my lunch bag, my daughter's dress changing bag, her school bag, her lunch bag, totally 5 bags and kid. I was waiting for an auto. Nobody is stopping me. Not even one person is having a response to stop me and ask me where you want to go. But once in a while, auto will and asking, they be 2 to 3 times more than the actual charge. So I was not ready for that. Then arguing, and finally we get it into the auto. So it was really trouble thing for everybody. And I was, and one day we met, my husband met an auto driver, and we made arrangement for him to the apartment, and then it's daily on a daily basis around 8 or something. So the only one condition he raised is money given in advance. We agreed that to go. He done that, and he took advance Monday, and from Tuesday he has absconded. So I tried him. Then he is saying, "Madam, ഞാൻ ബർത്തില്ല. I'm in my home. ഞാൻ ബരല്ല, madam." So then he told, then he was telling me, "Okay, if you really need, I can send you another."
Excuse me, Veena, sorry for interrupting you. Veena, sorry to interrupt you. There's a voice lag. Your voice is breaking. So a lot of people are not able to hear. I will request a few people to switch off their cameras. If that can help the bandwidth at her end. Veena,
Switch off the camera, Arjit.
no, no. Let us try once. Okay,
Hello,
everyone.
yeah.
Can you speak a sentence now?
No,
I'm now audible.
It's not better.
Audible check.
no. The issue is
Hello.
from our side, network connectivity.
Okay.
He's not having right connectivity. That's a challenge.
Can we do one thing? Can we call the second speaker? Meanwhile, Veena will check her connection and come back as the second. Can we swap the speech?
We can do that.
Yeah, that can be possible.
Yeah, Suresha, can we please swap the speech, and then Veena, please check the connections. You can be invited after the first speech is over.
All right. So by the time Veena checks her internet connections, maybe let's get into our second speaker of today's session. So before I invite the second speaker, maybe I would like to invite the evaluator to read out the project objectives and guidelines. And the evaluator is a very passionate Toastmaster again, and a very playful, thoughtful, wonderful, enthusiastic, energetic, efficient Toastmaster, who is none other than Toastmaster Arijit. So can you please read out the project guidelines?
Thank you, Suresha, for the exaggeration and welcoming me to the dais. Our next speaker is Toastmaster Yaska, who is attempting his L1P1 first speech from Engaging Humor Pathway. The purpose of this project is to practice applying feedback and serve as a speech evaluator at a later date. The purpose for this speech is for the member to present a speech and receive feedback from me, and then work on the feedback at a later day again. So this is a two-part speech. With this, the time allotted is 5 to 7 minutes, and I would hand it over to you, Toastmaster Suresh.
Thank you, Arijit, for that. Our next speaker is a emblem of our Toastmaster Club. A very passionate Toastmaster, a manager, a teacher, a learner. He is into Toastmaster journey for only 3 years, but the kind of achievements he has done is really amazing. So let's invite our second speaker, Yaskadeva. Title, What is in a Name? What is in a Name by Yaskadeva.
I always wondered when Indians who go abroad change their names, shorten it out. Ramaswamy becomes Rams, Jagadish becomes Jags, Vignesh becomes Vig. I only got to know the answer as I grew up in my life, based on what happened with me. People can't pronounce the names so easily. My name is Parkala Yaskadeva Bayari. Hold on. This is not a test. Please don't switch on your cameras and mute your speakers. I can see some of you doing that. Don't jump to the conclusion. Now, people might think, what is so big thing about a name? Don't worry. I'm going to give an analysis why I'm so frustrated with people not calling my name properly, and what are the consequences that can happen. Now, I have a disclaimer. This has no relation with whatever the current affairs that is going on in India or Bharat. Let's talk about my first name of the word. Sorry, first word in my name. Parkala. Even though it is my first name, it is not my first name. Now, whenever I go and introduce myself to people that my name is Parkala Yaskadeva Bayari, people take different interpretations. Now, for all of you to understand, Parkala is the name of my native village, which is present in the foothills of Manipal near Udupi. But as I grew in Andhra Pradesh, people would relate it into something totally different. They would go on about the stories of this great village of Parakala present in Andhra Pradesh, or they would talk about my relationship with Mr. Parakala Prabhakar, who is the husband of our beloved Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman. Both of them are untrue. Now let's talk about my last part of the name, Bayari. English sometimes really frustrates me because it can't truly translate Indic words. If I were to write it in Spanish or phonetics, I would have put a small dash on the first A, but I can't do it always. I would type my name is Bayari, I would say my name is Bayari to someone, and they would again butcher it. They would shorten out, remove one A and say, hi Bayari. Now, Bayari in Kannada means to scold. In Telugu, when you fasten up the word, it becomes bari, which means buffalo. Now think of the trauma that I have gone through my childhood to explain someone. Please don't scold me, or I'm not a buffalo. It's difficult. Now let's talk about the important part of my name, which I say, don't meddle with my middle name, even though it is not my middle name, but my first name, Yaska Deva. Now there are two leagues of gentlemen and women who has high levels of intelligence, which I'm going to speak about. The first set of people, they take the shortcut. They don't get into this pronunciation role. They say, hi, Mr. Dev. Hi, Mr. Deva. How are you? Intelligent. But sometimes when they call me that, I'm like, okay, who's Mr. Dev here? Oh, me. Okay, sorry. The second league of gentlemen and women, especially in a conversation in chat or WhatsApp, I type as an introduction, hello, my name is Yaska, Y-A-S-K-A. Send. I get a reply. Hi, Yashka, Y-A-S-H-K-A. Hi, Yaska, Y-E-S-K-A. Hi, Yaksa, Y-A-K-S-A. Hi, Yaksh, Y-A-K-S-H. Hi, Yash. To these people, can't you read 5 letters and type it back in a chat? Please. So these are the two leagues of gentlemen and women that I am speaking about. I had to go to such an extent that if you open my WhatsApp, the WhatsApp description has the Wikipedia link of the meaning of Yaska. Please go and read and pronounce it. Wikipedia gives you pronunciation. Again, now I'm going to tell you the epitome which I came across when you call a person with a wrong name. I was invited as a keynote speaker to a degree college and PU college opening near Haveri. And the flyer they printed out, which they sent me on WhatsApp, it read, hi, Yaksadeva, Y-E-K-S-A-D-E-V. That's it. And in Kannada, don't even ask me what they have written. I went there, sitting on the stage, the over-enthusiastic principal who was speaking butchered English, which none of the audience could understand, went onto the stage and introduced me with all my introduction and said, please help me welcome Mr. Yakshadev. Okay, that's the control. Now I go on the stage. They said, please, sir, wait. I want to tell about the importance of your name to the audience. My heart stopped. He went on to speak for 3 minutes about how Yaksha is such a great demigod in Mahabharata and gave references of Mahabharata, stories from Mahabharata, that how great Yaksha Prashnas were. Now, I was thinking, standing on the stage, they are not going to talk to Yaksha, they are going to talk to Yaska. How are they going to relate? My opening sentence, thank you so much, sir, for introducing Mr. Yash. Unfortunately, he is not here. Hello, everyone. My name is Yaska, and my name is this. Although it was a great icebreaker, you should have seen the face of that principal. Nah, he didn't come on the stage again. At least he went away after a while. Now, fellow Toastmasters and guests, names are very important for every person. Even though you might not feel important for them, about them, but every person feels so. Introducing the person with the right name is very important. And especially with the global audience we have, names can be difficult. So please ask their pronunciation as a WhatsApp audio and pronounce it back. Thank you. Back to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Yaska, for that wonderful speech. Please give him a big round of applause. So now, maybe let's go back to Veena. Veena, maybe if you can speak 1 or 2 sentences. We'll see whether we can able to hear you.
Suresh, yeah, Suresh, I have just switched the devices, but still it's breaking for me. Maybe I will have to push it to the next week then.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. I think that should be fine, Veena. No issues.
Okay.
All right. Now, so let's come back to this personal branding. Why personal branding is required? Maybe can you unmute and speak why you think personal branding is required? Any comments from any of the Toastmasters?
Because every time when we go for interview, they ask me, introduce yourself. And if you have a good brand, it helps us to introduce in a better way. Like when I go for any discussions, any interview as such, I say that you can Google Nitesh Ambuj and first 20 pages would be about me. So that's the branding that I have established. And I am sure everybody would be facing similar things when they introduce themselves, especially in the interview context. Yeah.
Thank you, Nitesh, for that. Yes, Vaibhavi. I see your hand raised.
Thank you very much for the opportunity, Toastmaster today. In my opinion, in today's distracted world, it's very difficult to connect the dots when it comes to introduction or placing the person with a role. So when we have a personal brand, it becomes very easy to know the niche, to know the expertise of the person, where does the person stand, so that we can assign the role and responsibility accordingly. So once I establish my personal brand and project it the same way, there is very less scope that I'll deviate or digress from what I project.
Well said. Thank you, Vaibhavi, for that. Anyone else?
Yeah, I can. See, personal branding is very, very important and very crucial also in our, especially in the corporate world. Earlier, people are recognized by their hard work, and later on it has moved to smart work. And now it has moved to personal branding. Until unless if you are not coming to radar of the senior management folks, you will not be recognized. Though you are having greater knowledge and hardworking mentality, still people will not recognize. You have to create your personal branding where people has to recognize. Thereby, you will be getting to the next level, next career path. Otherwise, people will think that no, okay, somebody is there. That's the reason whatever activities we do out of the office, we have to update it into LinkedIn, showcase our thing, what we are doing out of the office. Thereby, people will recognize us. Especially LinkedIn, we have to do our branding. Otherwise, it's very difficult to get the jobs also nowadays because the entire technology moving to AI, even selecting our own CV through the ATS tool, automate. I've forgotten that ATS tool, which is picks the CV in different ways. So create the branding, personal branding, very, very important in the corporate. Over to you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. And in addition to why, how also you covered as part of the personal branding. So thank you so much for that. So coming back to why, I mean, like many of you said, personal branding is very important because human beings are visual creatures. Okay, so we listen first by eyes, then by ears. So that's the reason you see eyes on the front. So we take only less than 5 seconds to create that image or brand. Okay, the moment I see you for 5 seconds, maybe I will have some image created for you, that kind of brand, what you are, right? So it's very important that we have that personal branding. So how do we do it? How do we create the personal branding? So there are some inputs already shared. Maybe I will tell you a technique called ABCD. Appearance. Appearance is one of the things you need to look at it when it comes to personal branding. The way you dress up, the way you groom yourself, the way you stand, the way you walk. So these are the things you need to be conscious when you are thinking about improving your personal branding. The second thing is behavior, the way you react to different situations. Do you have a positive mindset, negative attitude, or positive attitude? What is the kinds of mindset you have? growth mindset or fixed mindset, how you react to the different situations. These are the things which will attribute as a behavior, and people will closely monitor on these things. And this also, you need to be focused when it comes to personal branding. The third important thing is, which is very close to our Toastmasters, is communication. Communication is very key. The moment you're opening any presentation, the first one sentence will decide what kind of speaker you are. The choice of words, the tone at which you speak, they will decide, okay, you are a good speaker or a bad speaker. They will just decide within one sentence. So communication is very key. The way we tell the story, the way we communicate our message, the way we hook the audience, very important. And the fourth one is digital presence. Like our fellow Toastmaster said, we are in the digital era. Digital is everything. I see recently AI doing an interview. It is going to a LinkedIn or Naukri. It will pull out the profiles which is matching to the JD, and it will arrange for an interview as well. It will do a first level of technical interview with you, and then it will shortlist, and then it will give summary to a interviewer for next level. So that is the kind of development we are in technology. That's why now generative AI plays a lot of important role on these things. So it is very important we are updated about the technology to improve our personal branding. So we will talk little more as we progress. Now it's time to get into our second section of our meeting, which is table topic session. To do this, to take this meeting forward, we have a table topic master. Our table topic master he is from land of red chilies, Guntur. He loves his grandparents very much. How much he engaged his grandparents, we got to know from him during his last speech. A very passionate Toastmaster. Please put your hands together to welcome our table topic master, Toastmaster Manikanta.
Yeah. Hi everyone. Hope everyone is good. So today I have I'm the table topic master. I'll be giving a few topics I already ready based on the theme of personal branding. So we'll directly go into the table topic things. I'll share my screen, and who will be the first one to volunteer? So can host enable my screen sharing? I could not able to share my screen. Can anybody enable it who has the access?
Yaska, are you there? Is Yaska there?
Yeah, what happened?
Can you enable share screen?
Yeah. Done.
Okay. So who will be the first volunteer for the table topic? Okay. So Vaibhavi can answer this first one. Okay.
You can call sir first and then I'll go.
Yeah, sure. You are able to see my screen?
Not it.
Okay. Microsoft. Okay. Sorry. Okay. Now are you?
It is coming. Yeah, it's
Yes.
coming up. We can see it. Yes.
Yeah. So this is the first table topic. What would you like to buy? A branded shirt worth 5K or 5 not branded shirts, each of 1K? Why? How do you feel? CVL, sir, you can carry on.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry. So good evening, table topic master and other Toastmasters. Yes, branded shirt, buying a branded shirt 5K or 5 shirts with 1K. It's all depending upon the perception of the each individuals. If you ask me, my son is like to buy a shirt of 5,000 or 10,000 also, because he's behind the brand and the quality what it goes. But I always question him, why he want to spend such a huge amount of money every time buying a shirt? You can get it 500 also at 1,000 rupees also, which meets your expectation and the requirement. But he told me a story about this one. See, you can go and have a coffee or tea in a small outside hotel for 10 rupees. But the same coffee you will get in 5-star hotel, maybe 150 rupees. But the way they portray the things, the way they present the things, the quality what they give, it differs that. So I always goes with the best brand, which gives me the quality and the way it gives a shining. Otherwise, the way it showcases to the public, it gives a lot of satisfaction for me. That's the reason I always go with the 5,000. But because they brought up in such a way that they're earning so much money, but compared to their parents is totally different. That's the reason I always go and buy at a 1K only, not 5,000, because they grown up different culture. I grown up different culture. I always go with the 1K shirt only, not 5K. Over to you.
Thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster CVL. Okay.
Thank you.
We'll go for the next question. Vaibhavi, please. Toastmaster Vaibhavi.
Sure, table topic master.
Yeah. Did you ever feel that your name or surname is giving an unwanted branding to you?
Table topic master is asking me the name Vaibhavi Sondur. As simple as it sounds, is it decreasing the credibility as my brand? Definitely yes. With due respect to all my ancestors and especially my father who gave me his first gift, surname, Sondur. It's perfectly fine there. But I have a problem only with my name, Vaibhavi. The whole world finds it difficult to remember. I've been called Vaidehi, I've been called Vaishnavi, I've been called Vaishali, just not Vaibhavi. You know why I have problem with this name? Because the name itself says famous, Vaibhavam. And look at me. What do I have that I flaunt to become famous? Beauty? Brains? Definitely no. Well, my pockets are empty. What do I flaunt? I see a ray of hope. I can always uplift a person who's at least a little worse than me or pathetic than me or not as good as me, but wanting to be there and give a hand and say that I'm famous in his or her eyes because I just gave a hand. She or he will remember at least for a few days, and that is how the name Vaibhavi becomes famous. Well, this is just the toxic positivity that I have deep down my heart. I don't know how long will I survive, but yes, for me to be branded as a famous person, Vaibhavi is not an apt name. The same names, Vaishali, Vaishnavi, Vaidehi, any of them could do, but Vaibhavi. Table topic master, please tell me that you also find it so difficult to pronounce my name.
Not. Thank you, Toastmaster Vaibhavi, for explaining beautifully, portraying your feelings. Thank you. And who could be the third volunteer for the next table topic?
Hi, Manikandan. I would like to go
Yeah, Venkatesh.
at the next topic.
Yes. The next topic is, what do you prefer, a local brand or a foreign brand? Why?
Yeah, so this question is also related to the first topic, I hope, which Sari explained. So it is depends on the person. For me, I would prefer with the local brand rather than the foreign brand. Why? Because I am basically from the farmer family. Okay, so when I was grow in the setup. So whenever I will go to the store or somewhere, I will always prefer with the local brand. One behind the reason also be that by brand me by to buy the local brand, always we are helping someone from the India rather than the foreign. So if you look, most of the brand is coming from foreign country. It is imported from here. Then they will modify just branding and they will resell it with us. So rather than go with the foreign brand, I always used to choose the local brand rather than the foreign. That's the main reason I would used to choose the local brand. Thank you.
Thank you, Venkatesh, Toastmaster Venkatesh. So who could be the fourth volunteer? Could able to see very less.
I could go next.
Okay. Right. Welcome Toastmaster Manali for the fourth topic. Did you ever try a branded item on your friend's compulsion, and how did you feel?
Yes, definitely. I can totally relate to this topic that has been given to me. Have I ever tried a branded item because of my friend? Yeah. I had to buy a Puma shoes. Well, many of our friend Toastmasters in the audience will not agree that Puma shoes can be bad, but I really felt so because firstly, when I bought a shoe with such a high amount, I felt it should be very soft. It would be so comfortable. Maybe I could walk 10 kilometers and I feel my feet aren't paining. But then first when I wore it, it did not fit my fit my leg. I mean my feet. So what was the problem? My feet are wide enough for the shoe. It did not fit. Then I went for a bigger size. Now it was so long that I had to step very carefully on the stairs. And when I was walking, I felt like my body was already, which was big. Now my feet has become longer. Now I have to check my footsteps even now. So yeah, I think when you have some ideas and you have some things that fits you correctly, you should totally stick on them rather than going with your friend's opinion. That's all from my side. Back to you, Toastmaster.
Yeah, thank you, Toastmaster Manali, for sharing your experience. So who will be the fifth volunteer? The table topics.
We have a few guests, Mani, can you ask them? Yes. Shravani, Harika.
Harika, Shravani, Sriram, anyone? Are you? I could not able to see on my screen.
Shravani or Harika?
Yeah, I'm there. Very sorry, I'm attending from outside, but still, yes, I can. If you don't feel any disturbance at my end.
Okay, so the next topic is: did it ever occur to you that you should start, like you should start your own brand, like any food recipe, an example, kind of? Did it ever occur to you that you should start your own brand?
So far, no. But while talking about brand here, new food recipe or whatever, I feel the traditional, whatever we do have till today, that we have come across with so many experiences from our grandparents or the coming up from the traditional families, their experiences, their home, I mean, I have seen so many the food recipes prepared by my grandmother or my mother. So with the medicinal, I would say there are so many advantages by going with their food recipes. So I personally feel so far I haven't started, but I'm following their words. So definitely yes, if I even start a new food recipe, that should also be something beneficial to the upcoming future, young generations. Thanks a lot. Reverting back to Toastmaster Mani.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shravani. Like anyone else can try. Next question. Any volunteer? Kiran, Manjula, Nitesh, Veena. I could see only this. Harika.
Mani, I could try Veena here.
Yeah, I will know. Okay, the next question is here. How do you promote Make in India if you are given a chance?
Yes. If I am given a chance to promote something which is made in India, definitely I will go for India. Why to go for abroad things when we make our own products in India? Let us help our nation first and then go with the abroad brands. So I will definitely go with the farmers or the other entrepreneurs who works in India, and this will help India to grow better when compared to the foreign countries. Yes. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster, Table Topics Master.
Thank you, Veena. Thank you, Toastmaster Veena. So anybody else will try for the remaining topics?
I will give it a shot, Mani.
Yeah, thank you, Toastmaster Arjit. So the next topic is, you should promote your village or town for tourism purpose. Convince the audience.
You should promote your village or city for tourism purpose. Convince the audience. I will not go to my city or town because it is fairly very popular, and people, just because if you mention food, people will flock to that place. So let me come closer, and that is that is the place where I reside in Bangalore, which is actually very infamous. Like if you ask any person in Bangalore, tell me the most infamous places in Bangalore. So Tin Factory will register in the top 5 most hated places in Bangalore. And that is for an obvious reason, is because everyone who comes over here in Tin Factory is very sweet, because you have a perennial jam in this place. So people in Tin Factory are very sweet, but people who get stuck in the jam are very bitter about the jam in Tin Factory. Nonetheless, the reason how the ways we can promote Tin Factory is now that we are getting a brand new metro station, which is like, I don't know, they are waiting for so long. Everyone is getting so much suspense, and there's so much thrill about the unveiling of the metro station is one thing I am looking forward to also. And then the other thing which I like about Tin Factory in particular is that we have a wonderful lake over here. A few years back, the lake had disappeared, but miraculously there was some wonderful rain, and ever since the lake is filled with water, and it's very picturesque. And something you do not expect in a place which is so crowded all the time. But just besides there, you can just walk near the lake, and you have the most serene settings. And plus, there are a lot of temples over here which helps people to pray to their gods. And normally people pray that this traffic problem is solved, but I don't think so that will get resolved anytime sooner. Nonetheless, there are good places to eat also, and I am also a good cook. So if you are stuck in Tin Factory jam, do give me a call. I will be a worthy host and welcome all of you to Tin Factory. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Arjit. Yeah, this is the final topic. Anybody can volunteer?
Want to go, Manikanta?
Yeah, thank you, Toastmaster Kiran. So here is the topic. How do you advise your junior about personal branding who is working hard but not getting any recognition?
Okay. Thank you, Mani, for giving this topic. First of all, I would advise him to keep working on his work. Like, for example, if I would take an example, we saw many people write on LinkedIn, but they don't get the results very soon, right? So what I would, if somebody asks me what I would say, that keep working on it. Success doesn't come overnight, right? So once you reach the level where you can write well, then obviously everybody will recognize. And the thing is, you should not be working for recognition, right? You should be working on your goal or whatever it is. The result will be automatic, right? It's a byproduct of the process. So you should I would say keep working on it until he gets that. Thank you. Over to you.
Okay. Thank you, Toastmaster Kiran, for your valuable insights. So that's it from my side as from the table topics. Thank you all the Toastmasters who volunteered. Thank you all. Over to you, Toastmaster Suresha.
Thank you, table topic master. The topics were really interesting, and thank you for again relating back to the theme for the meeting. So now, coming back to this personal branding. So we spoke about what is personal branding, why it is required, how do we build our personal branding. So any other tips, Toastmasters, you want to share in terms of building our personal branding? Any other tips before we close on this personal branding? Yes, Arijit.
Suresh, while personal branding is something very important and integral part of a person, and especially in times like these when it is very important, however, it is there are things which are, branding is something which is a sign of a privilege, because we live in a time where even the name of a person can have a lot of implications. I have literally seen people change their names because they belong to a certain religion or a different faith or a different region. And that is also a little scary. You might have seen we have increased the dependence on artificial intelligence. But if you see in USA, when they were using artificial intelligence to screen people, which is now being introduced in India also, there's a higher tendency to catch people of a certain complexion, of a darker complexion, than another person of another skin complexion. So this personal branding infused with technology is a very difficult thing, and we should understand the implications of this. I'm not limiting the thing, the topic. It is a very integral part of a human being to how to make themselves presentable. But there are a lot of human biases that go with branding. So that is one area people should be empathetic to while making decisions regarding hiring or things which make an impact in someone's life. So with that, over to you.
Thank you, Arijit, for that. Anyone last comment, last Toastmaster want to share the tips? Anyone else? All right. Okay. So personal branding is something we spoke about, what we can do to create our personal branding, etc. And now personal branding itself become a service now. So there are a lot of consultants are available to improve on your personal branding. They call it as the image consultants. Do you know how many image consultants are there to support our Prime Minister of India, Mr. Narendra Modi? Any guess how many image consultants or personal branding consultants are there to support him or helping him? Any guess? There are around 75 image consultants who is closely working with our Prime Minister on personal branding. Every movement of him is closely monitored and observed. The way he raises his hand, the choice of words, the dress he wears, the way he walks, everything is groomed, everything is monitored, everything is well trained. So that is the kind of importance personal branding has. So my dear fellow Toastmasters and guests, personal branding is our right. So we have to create our own personal branding. If we doesn't create, then people will create a brand for us and they will label it you, this is what you are. So with that, now let's come back to our Toastmasters third session, which is again general evaluation. Now I would request our general evaluator, Toastmaster Nitesh, to give his evaluation.
Thank you, TMOD Suresha. It was a wonderful session and very, I would say, enriching for all of us. I was noting down few points, and one point which I felt all of us should follow, I have also pasted in the comment. Very enriching, very exciting. Let's go to the evaluation part. First, the speech evaluation. As we had just one complete speech evaluation, let's just start with that. I would like to invite Toastmaster Arijit for the evaluation of DTM Yashka.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nitesh. That which we call a rose or Yaska Deva, Parkala Yaska Deva Bayari, shall any other name shall be as interesting and helpful. This is a topic which Toastmaster Yaska chose for his first speech in part of engaging humor pathway. And the purpose is to connect with the audience with a very relatable topic. And the very opening line was relatable with everyone, because everyone in the room, in this meeting room, smiled when he said how difficult it is how difficult it is for people to pronounce your name. And I could see a broad smile almost on everyone's face, because that's a problem everyone faces, especially if you cross geographic divide and introduce yourself. Nonetheless, this topic is also special to people because it is a part of one's identity, and people get annoyed when they are not called properly. So Toastmaster Yaska chose a very relatable topic, which was interesting and at the same time connected with the audience really well. However, the areas where he can work with respect to the content is that he went into the technical aspect of explaining his name in detail. And so the etymology and how people mispronounce it was good, but was a little longer than required. So Yaska, I would advise you to to keep these technical aspects of your name a little short and focus on the problems you face. And now when I'm speaking about the problems you face while speaking on the topic, you had several examples and instances of the problems you face. And the one thing you can choose as a mode of delivery is a ranting format. Ranting your emotions as a speaker is very popular, especially if you follow YouTube videos and Instagram reels, where people just keep on ranting about their problems. And people tend to empathize with this difficulty. So when you're ranting, you have to work on the anger you are expressing, the helplessness and the hopelessness. These are certain aspects you can inculcate in your speech while expressing. Other than that, the one thing I really liked is when you came closer to the screen and spoke politely to the audience. So that was a good way of voice modulation and a very relatable topic, which you can consider for any humorous speech contest you are looking for. With that, over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Arijit. A detailed evaluation. And then we all know Yaska is a great speaker, and it's always a privilege to listen to him. Very interesting. And I am sure when he's trying to engage audience with his humor, it would be really exciting. Just one quick feedback I would like to give Yaska, which I personally follow, and I feel that works, that when we give any speech, be it icebreaker or any other speech, when we try to challenge audience or try to throw some questions on them with respect to their own experience. That really works. So there could be multiple such things. One I could think of is that I faced hundreds of such different variations of my name. I'm sure you must have felt as well. Something that people would think that, okay, is it my experience as well? Am I also thinking in the same direction? So I believe that works for me when I throw questions at audience related to my speech. So that is something, if we include, I believe that works. Nothing much. It was a great speech, and I'm looking forward to hear more humor from Yaska. Great. Let's move to the next part of our evaluation and our. I would like to invite our timer, Toastmaster Narasimham, for his report. Over to you, timer.
Thank you, General Evaluator. So, Toastmaster Eskadeva spoken 7 minutes 48 seconds, and comes to his evaluator, Toastmaster Ajit has given 3 minutes 10 seconds. Moving to table topics, Toastmaster Veena spoken 35 seconds, Monali 1 minute 20 seconds, Toastmaster Venkatesh 55 seconds, Toastmaster Kiran 1 minute 10 seconds, CVL myself 1 minute 46 seconds, Toastmaster Vaibhavi 2 minutes, Toastmaster Shravani 56 seconds, Toastmaster Arjis 2 minutes 24 seconds. That's all. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Narasimham. It is really difficult when we are speaking in an online mode to keep track of timing, and especially looking at the screen of green, orange, and red. But I'm sure most of our speakers have done justice. They have not crossed, even if they have crossed by a few seconds only, not much. And as I said, it is difficult. Even I was trying to keep at this green, orange, and red. Not very comfortable with that personally. So great job by everyone to keep within the time limit. Great. Let's move to our next evaluator. And then, as I said in the beginning, we have a twist in how we are evaluating today. We have a language evaluator rather than individual evaluators of our counter and grammarian. So I would like to invite our language evaluator, Toastmaster Vaibhavi, to present her report.
Thank you very much once again, Mr. General Evaluator. Good evening, Toastmasters and guests again. A big shout out to Toastmaster of the Day for having used the word of the day. An excellent usage that I've noted today have been passionate, which means intense emotion, compelling action; interpretation, which means explanation or understanding of something; butcher, which means cluttered or unpolished; radar, which means range under influence; digital era, which means time period where electronic components are more prominent; nonetheless, a very interesting adverb, which means in spite of; etymology, which means linguistic details; and ranting, which means complaining. However, the speakers could have bettered in the area where instead of using speeds as plural noun, you could have used feet. Singular noun is foot and plural is feet. Instead of saying someone else is there, you could have asked, is there anyone else? I request the Toastmaster of the Day to kindly reduce the usage of us, and short pauses. Slow down and then think, so that these short pauses will not reduce your credibility as speaker. Otherwise, it was a great meeting. Back to you, Mr. General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmasters Vaibhavi. Now let me evaluate the entire meeting. First of all, sorry for joining a little late. It happens, as I normally don't prefer online meetings. But sorry about that. It delayed the meeting a little 5 to 10 minutes. That is the spirit of Toastmasters, that if we do not have a role taker, we take it impromptu and then deliver that. And thanks to Toastmaster Yaska for taking up impromptu president's role and delivering that. Really kudos to you. Now let's go to TMOD, Suresa, and I see a great preparation there, because as I said in the beginning, that he is coming up with a lot of points for us to take home, and then some of the points I have mentioned in the comment also. And it is really great for TMOD to give back some value to all of us who are attending. And I felt really nice when Suresa came up with so many different aspects about personal branding. We all are impacted by that, and that topic is close to all of our hearts because we face this on a day-to-day life as well, being it professional or personal lives. So kudos to you, Suresa. Big round of applause for him. Next, we had a table topic master. And I heard his speech last week, as it was mentioned by our TMOD as well. He talked about his grandparents, his village life, and then how he moved in his life. And really great to see him taking up table topic master's role in an online meeting and coming up with such nice topics as well. So kudos to you, and I'm looking forward to see more roles from your side. And I hope you would be prepared for that. Maybe TMOD next time, few more roles as well. So great round of applause for Toastmaster Manikanta.
Thank you.
Now, as I said, it is really difficult to play this timer part, and then kudos to our timer for playing that really effectively, maintaining or getting all those details and presenting to us. So kudos for Toastmasters Narasimham. One feedback, I have not seen that in any meeting so far, ours or any other Toastmasters meeting, but I just realized that if we could do that, it would help speakers, especially those who are focusing on their speech rather than looking at the videos of the timer and then kind of seeing where there is green, amber, or red. That can we also introduce a concept of buzzer or hooter, especially when we are having only online meeting. So when there is a green, probably we can put that buzzer on, so that that sound will make the speaker aware that there is a change of color, and then they probably can look at it. So I'm just thinking aloud here. We'll discuss on that and come back. I believe that would be effective if a speaker is not able to focus on the screen and just he'll listen to a sound that gives him indication that time is up and I'll have to wrap it up. So we'll discuss and come back, but that is one improvement I see we can do, especially when we have only online meetings. The next role taker we had was a language evaluator, and I see till last minute we didn't have much role takers, especially for our counter. And it is a great idea to club this and take that up. Kudos to Toastmaster Vavi for taking it up and then presenting that in a nice way. Let's have a round of applause for her as well. Overall, it was a great meeting. We had some technical hiccups. We could not have our first speech, and then that also gave us some bandwidth in terms of taking up more table topics. But it is really nice if people have prepared and they come here and deliver that speech. So we'll see how we can do that better next time, so that we do not have any such hiccups. And probably we can do. I know that we had some testing also before the meeting, so that we can check on bandwidth. But let's do that, especially with speakers, because I know how much time it takes to prepare and how tense you are before your speech and all that. So repeat that moment again. It's really not that good, because we want to just deliver and see the feedback at that day itself. So we'll look at that as well. With that, I guess we had a really nice meeting. I love this Saturday evening. And yeah, back to you, TMOD.
Thank you, General Evaluator, for that wonderful evaluation, and thanks to your team as well for giving their reports. A big round of applause. Please give them a big round of applause. Now, with that, so let me again invite our another important emblem of our Hoodie Toastmaster Club, our President, Toastmaster Nitesh, to take it forward for our closing remarks.
Thank you, TMOD. And I believe I was just talking to our presiding officer in the beginning. We have some guests and we need to start with their introduction. So I would request our guests to introduce themselves and also talk a few words about today's meeting of feedback, so that we can work on that. So let's start with Toastmaster Harika. So can we have your introduction and also a quick feedback about our meeting? If you are speaking, you are on mute, Toastmaster Harika. Okay. So I think there might be a problem. So let's go to Toastmaster Shravani. Can you please introduce
Hi,
yourself
Nitish.
and also
Hi,
yeah, and
Nitish.
also
This is Shravani. I hope you remember last week I already attended the meeting. So this is my second session. As I said,
Yeah.
I don't want to really miss this opportunity today as well. So that's why I was eagerly waiting, and at the last minute, I just thought to join without missing the session. I'm still outside, but I'll make sure that to be 100% available to have a
a quick
beneficial.
feedback because
Yeah,
you might have a different experience attending it virtually.
yeah,
So a quick
yeah,
feedback on that.
yeah. Very happy to join. Anyways, we'll meet you again. Maybe may not be in online, offline, so it will be even more beneficial, is what I feel.
Definitely. Thanks for your feedback. I do not see any other guests online. So with that, we can. Okay, before I close, I would like to request all the members that we have a newsletter coming in. We might have seen the messages also in our group. Please contribute. And these days, writing is not very difficult. I don't want to give you a hint, but there are a lot of options to write a really good article. The theme is culture, where we are talking about food, art, and music. Think about any write-up, any topic. I would prefer that if we have a diversity in terms of we are taking up content from east, west, north, south. We have a huge country and we have really great culture. We have nice food, nice art, nice music. Pick any topic, write about it. Even if you are, let's say, writing 1 or 2 paragraphs, there are options to extend it. As I said, if you are not able to do it, reach out to our editorial team. They would be happy to help you. But please contribute. We want to release it as soon as possible. With that, I would like to close this meeting. I would request all the executive committee members to stay so that we can have an EC meeting just after this. Thank you all. Thanks for joining.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Same link only, right, Nitish?
Yeah, same link. I guess we can continue. There's no point, I guess. I do not see Yaska was here. He said he would be joining. Let me see if he's there on. Yeah.
Trilok said he will join after this. I will.
Yeah. Okay, great. Let's wait for a couple of minutes before Trilok and others can join. Okay, great. And I guess we had 5-6 different points that we mentioned. I guess last was Dixon, you mentioned about 5 points. Let's start with that. Newsletter contest. We have a role for secretary that might need to be filled. DCP plan, education session.
Yaska is there in that Vaibhavi is on there. Yaska is there or is going to join in area?
Yaska was here. I pinged him. Let's see if he joined.
Even I pinged him, but yeah.
So about the first part, I think we met the other day, and so this is the updated plan. think Dixon and Arijit were also there, and Yaska also.
Hey, guys, quick question. Tomorrow, the JTP, if we join for the JTP in the afternoon, that is enough?
Not sure. Anyone from the organizing team, when do they take
No,
attendance?
if I find out who was the extremely intelligent person or persons who set up the agenda like that, I'd like to have a chat with them over a cup of coffee. I swear it.
Not sure when the attendance would be taken, but I believe, see, especially for Manoj sir and others who have joined or attended this JTPs multiple times, just a recap. So, but we need to have the attendance. Good, I guess. Yeah. Meanwhile, when Yaska is joining, let's start that. Trilok, the first item we have is newsletter. So, any update? I pinged Binay, and then he will be sending in a next few days, 3-4 days. He will send his write up. I'll also send my write up in next couple of days. So, two
That's
we
for
have
the-
done. Any
That's
further
the
update?
article thing, right? Article.
Yeah, article.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
I'll also see what I can cook up and send it to you guys.
Yeah. So, Trilok, any other update?
Yeah, so I think we discussed the other day, and yeah, Dixon, Arijit, and Yaska were there. So, so there were a few. So Muskan has already given an article. Arun is going to give. Arijit has talked to Bhavanti, and this. So we have a couple of articles for the stories section. Rest is to be. I mean, it's more of. I mean, we have enough content to work on. And so I think once we are done with that, then know if anything additional is needed.
Okay. So, anything that is. Yes, Saska, we can hear. So anything urgent that needs immediate attention, Trilok, or are we on track? And by next week, we will have most of the content ready.
Nitesh, can you stop the record?
Just 1 minute.
Oh, it was recording. Okay.
Yeah, it was recording when I joined.
Oh,
okay.
Nitesh had the host right. I gave him.
Sorry, it's very difficult. I don't use.